bespoke sort of design for the landscape. So I'm just gonna bring them in and just jump back when it's done. So with this downloaded, now I can go and start working on finally on our landscape. And I think I'm gonna start with the rocks here, like the small ones. These 5, I'm gonna select them, just the static mesh, and go into edit selection in property matrix. And I'm just gonna go into collisions, and I'm gonna see if I can select all of them, and let's see if I can customize this in here. No, I think I can't at the minute. Let's see, static mesh. Now probably I'll need to go into each of them and edit, adding a collision to it. And this is just for the physics we are gonna apply to this. We're just gonna bring them in and then apply some physics to it. So I'm just gonna go and edit. So everything opens at the same time, and go right here on this one, I think, auto convex collision, then apply. That is done for that. Then apply. You can leave that value there. It's not gonna make much of a difference. So collision. So for this case, yeah, I can recommend using this auto convex for this application, just because it has we want to respect some of those shapes. So save, and finally the last one, apply, and then save. So I can go back in here, and I can bring all of them together. See, that's my rocks there. And let's just add these to a folder and then call this, maybe I got rocks. And I can select all of them, then maybe even duplicate some of those. And let's see. Let's see how they behave when I apply some physics to it. We do that by selecting all of them. Not this one. Simulate physics. And then I'm just gonna go in here, these 3 points, and then go into simulate. Well, it's probably gonna go like that. There is a plugin that we can also use, and let's see oh, it's gone. I know there is a plugin that we can use just to place them in, and I think I've got it open. This physical layout tool, it seems like it's really cool to use it, but I also have seen that some people have had issues, and we don't want to corrupt our map, or that we can work with it. I think the person in charge of it, it's free. That's great. That's absolutely amazing. But I think he has sorted these issues. Not gonna risk for this project, but I can have a look for the next one as well. So let me just turn this lighting method to out. So this is one fun way to to look for physics, but let's see If I click, if I was here, no. What I wanted to do is to apply the physics. Oh, I needed to select all of those assets. So let me just move them around randomly. And let's place something like that. And because this structure doesn't have any collisions at the moment, it's great because it's just passed through it. So let's go and select all of them again, simulate, and I can just right click and keep simulation changes. So that is safe, and now all our rugs are placed like that. So it's one way to do it. Also, you can always drag things in or use other methods like PCG, but we can place things like with physics. It's quite nice to do, and probably I will add more to it and then just place the name. So I'm just gonna, you can do this as well, and let's do it together, but I'm just gonna speed up this so you don't need to be watching. I mean, the video is gonna be too long, and probably is too long already. So I'm just gonna drop some of those and place the name, and then simulate all of it again. So getting back to this, now I can just bring some big rocks into it. So let's bring this one, some of like that. This one as well. And just place it like in between your landscape, something like that. Should be fine. And don't worry about these issues. We are gonna sort it soon when we do a little bit of quality control. Then I can just drag this in. So just play with the environment and add some rocks and some, mostly rocks is what we're gonna do now, but we will bring more like vegetation as well, and the floor those that we downloaded. It opened this, don't need this to be open. So I'll just keep adding this and speed up the video. Okay, so we got our some of the assets that I put just around the area that we are going to work. And I think I'm going to create a PCG graph instead of using the foliage. And a PCG graph is going to be a procedural graph that will allow us to to add meshes procedurally. And these are going to be we can filter the density and how they are going to be placed in the project. Just before I go there, I'm just going to select all of this and this and set a color for this material. So I'm just going to put it there, and for the textures, the same thing. A new color, and then I just pick the red one. Okay, so now I'm gonna go here and create a folder called PCG. And I'm gonna look for a PCG graph. So I think, let me see where that is in here. If I look in here, oh boy, so I need to first, is it enable? So I had to look for the PCG graph and select this one. This is saving. Oops, this is going to restart. I think it's gonna ask you to restart, but just go into plugins and look for PCG. I'm gonna show you in a minute. So I had to look for the PCG graph in here, and it's this one here, Procedural Content Generation Framework. So I go here, and then now I have this graph here. So PCG graph, and we can call this PCG, and we call it, I would say, forest. That would be a proper name to it. Then save as save everything, Control Shift S. So it's this one, and also I'm gonna open my level. So now we can add this on, but first I'm just gonna get rid of those lighting method that we created here. So let me see if this was not working. ACR backdrop, why is it this outside? And all of these are part of the, I would say, rocks. I can move them there. And this sun sky, oh, so it's two of them, right. Now we are just with one lighting method. Okay, now I'm just going to first save all and go into PCG and then drag this in. And I think I'm gonna extend it now, right? This is like a volume, and I can extend it all the way up, increase its size, and go all the way like that. So we're gonna edit this graph in a minute. So we open it, and you see there is an input and output, but actually we can start working from a node here. So I'm just gonna get landscape data. And this landscape, we are going to get a surface sample, something called surface sampler. And we can debug this, which is great. We can just save this and see how it's gonna show in our map. So we can even increase the size of this, and it's going to follow the terrain, which is pretty amazing to have this tool for us. Okay, so now next, what we want to do, we want to bring some assets that we can put our trees. So this is gonna be our trees, and let me do just that. Let's get mesh, static mesh spawner. This is the one we need. I'm just gonna open this so we can see it properly. And in here we got some mesh entries that we can add. So I'm gonna add about 6, should be fine. So I'm gonna go index 4 and index 5. And the description here is where we put our meshes. So I can go and look for trees. It's not trees, is it? Let me see what's the name of those Megascans trees. So European hornbeam, but actually I can just drag them in here. I can just bring one. And don't know if you can see there, it's already spawning some trees in there. Let's do 2. Let's do 3, and I'm just gonna speed this up. Okay, so now we can see, whoa, that's a lot of trees. I can't even find my project anymore. So I'm just gonna save, and probably my computer is running hot. So let's do some stuff here to reduce this size. And we do that by using a density filter. So in here, from this surface sampler, I'm just gonna go density filter. And I'm gonna connect these two here. And I can just set that out there. This is debugging, so I don't need this to be debugging anymore. As you can see, it's still the same. But I'm just gonna go to this density filter and put all the way to 1. So no more trees in there. So if I put to 0 to 0.5 was like that. 0.3, it's gonna fill it even more. And 0.6 less so, or 0.7, let's see. I think 0.7 is a good value just for this in here. So there's no issue there. And on top, we might just need to fill this in a little bit. But it's gonna look nice now. So 0.6, 0.6, let's see how that looks in there. I think 0.6 should be fine for this. And if it's running too hot your computer, you can always set the density to 0.8 and you got less of those trees in it. So now we need to add a difference to this, just so we can set an area where we are going to have our main scene. So let's do that. And I'm gonna do that by adding a difference node. But first, I think I need to add a volume. So I think I'm gonna use just a blocking volume here. So just let me see this here. Focus on it, gain mode. That's it. So I'm just going to increase the size of it maybe by 20. 20 is a good size. And I think I can even change the shape of it. So let's see. We can do a cone. So maybe if I just go like this, or a cylinder maybe is more of a appropriate shape for this. Okay, for this, I'm going to go and do a tag. And this is going to be a PCG difference. And I'm going to copy this. So now we can go here and get, let me just open that, get actor, I think it's this one here, get actor data, and let me see if this is the one. And I think it is the one. If I think it's in here, just all world actors. Yeah, here you go. Is the byte tag. Now I want to get this now called difference, and this is going to be our source, the landscape, and this is going to be our difference. And let's just connect to this surface sampler. See if we get the result we need. Okay, it didn't get the result we needed. So that's probably because it's not going into surface, but it's going into the bounding shape. There you go. That is what I wanted to do. So I've got my volume here. So if I resize it, which we're gonna do, let's just resize to this point there. Maybe a little bit more, tiny bit more there. Yeah, it looks way better with the trees, and I think we don't need to worry too much about the view there, because I can see some trees in there. Maybe we need to populate this a little bit more with trees, but I think this bounding should be about right. About 7 is a good number, and we can do like a some sort of shot like this coming in, and we can add some trees as well just to finish this scene up. But just gonna set this bound to 0.5, and yeah, that's way more trees, and I think way more trees than we need. We don't need to have this size on our map, so I'm just gonna reduce the size of this PCG to that point there. I think that's even too much. Let's see how it looks from the ground. Probably I need to increase the size of my volume. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm pushing too much on my computer right now, but I think it'll do the trick now. I think it's starting to look really nice. And again, we can just modify. We don't need this amount of trees, so we can always modify this lower bound and decrease the size of my PCG to maybe, so I would say, what, 30, maybe 20 to 20. And let's save. Let's force regenerate. Yeah, much better. And oh, it went all the way up. So let me clean this. Let me find my PCG. So this is the volume, and I just want to increase it to this point there. And then generate. And I think it's generating all of the landscape. So if I want to reduce this, I think I just need to go into landscape mode and then delete some of these tiles. And that's a good time to show you how to do that. You can just drag this and let's see. Yeah. So remember when I said that maybe we didn't need that much of a landscape? Well, that was pretty much what I meant to. So our map doesn't need to be that big for this particular project. Let me go into my, oh, I thought I had some bookmarks. Well, it's all it's not there anymore. I'm just gonna go back to selection. I'm gonna save all, and let's start working on our ground with some vegetation. Now, I think I'm quite happy with this. Maybe I shouldn't have deleted so much of this, because now I can, if we walk around, we can see the end. There's a couple of things on the trees that I want to do as well, which is the projection of them. I think they need to be straight. So let's do that now. And I'm gonna look for a transform point, which will allow me to set this, the size of it, and manipulate how these trees work. So I'm just gonna plug it there. I'm gonna save, and you got here some parameters. So offset, minimum and maximum. I don't think I need this, but rotation, I want this to be 360 on the Z axis. So this is X, Y, and Z.